So today on Graybeard Disc Golf, I've got something a little bit different. I'm not going to be doing a review of a disc. Normally I would. You've seen my channel, you see I do disc reviews. That's part of the fun. Today, I am reviewing these. That's right, I have friction gloves. I got a pair of these. I actually got a pair that were too small, and then I ended up buying these, which are a large pair. And we're going to do a quick review. I'm going to play a whole round today, 18 holes here at Dry Creek Disc Golf Park with the friction gloves because it's a perfect day for it. It's -2 degrees out and it's chilly. So we'll see exactly how they work. I'll be talking about them as we go through the round. All right, so enough messing around. Let's get on it. So let's try some putts with these. Just a short putt. I just want to see how it changes, kind of how the discs feel in hand. Obviously, you don't have nearly as much touch, although for me, I don't think that's a huge issue. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be too bad. It does feel weird though. It feels awful strange. I will say that. It's not normal. Let's get these flat. There we go. Yeah, I don't. It's not making a huge difference. Oh, there's snow on this one. Let's try it with a bit of snow, a little bit of wetness. Snow under the rim here. You see, it's a little bit slick now that it's a little wet. Well, putting it seems to be okay. I mean, I'm not a great putter, so it seems to be doing okay. A little bit further away. All right. Well, that's about my percentage from that distance. So let's get out on the course and have a few full rips. All right, here we go. Hole number one. This is our first chance to really crank on one with the friction gloves. Give myself a good run up here. Hopefully that stables up and lands where I want it to, somewhere on the hill. Oh, short of the hill. Wow, that didn't go very far. That's okay. Let's go up and have a look. All right, so let's our first little forehand flick. Can't really see the basket. I put the camera a little ways back so that you can see the basket on camera. I can't really see it. I guess I'm going at those trees there and hopefully just pan out. Let's get close, shall we? Let's go around this guy. All right. Straighten out. Ooh, to the left of the basket. I keep having to take my glove off to unlock the camera. Okay. You know, the drive felt really good, actually. Didn't feel strange at all. Yeah, it felt really nice. Wow, okay, that putt felt really good. Wild. So I seem to be able to get the touchscreen on my phone to work, so being able to turn the camera on and off, that doesn't seem to be a problem. I got to press a little bit harder. It's a little touchy. It's not perfect, but I can at least get the button. I can actually start the camera and shut it off and whatnot. The one thing I'm most concerned with is what is the condition of these fingers going to look like at the end of 18 holes? You know, what is the longevity of these gloves? The grip, we'll find out. I have really no expectation for the grip. I don't really know how it's going to be, but we'll get some throws on it. We'll see exactly what it looks like after a few throws. So hopefully it's not going to cause too much of a problem with my grip. Okay, here's hole 3. This is a zone hole. It's 195 feet and pretty straightforward. Put it out right, have it crash through the basket. If you've seen some of my disc reviews, you've probably seen me throw on this hole before. Well, that really that worked out pretty good. You know, I was half expecting it to feel strange, but it felt pretty good coming out of my hand. So far, so good. Well, can't really complain about that. So I'm not going to be filming every hole, but I will be shooting every hole. So you can rest assured this is going to be a full 18 baskets, a full 18 holes, and I'll just film a handful of shots, ones that I think that it's going to be important, and maybe we'll dip our hand in a disc in the river and try to get them completely wet and see how that works out. So how far? We've got to be just at the edge of C1. Probably throw a couple of putts here. I mean, it comes out as it normally would. Player B. Gotta love player B. So this should be pretty straightforward. Throw it at that tree on the left side, have it drift to the basket. If you can see it, it's kind of right up against the bank there. Got my Latitude 64 core. Wonderful little turnover disc. Missed my line. Woo! Came out a little bit early. I'm not sure if that was the glove or if that was me. Probably me. Another little bit longer putt. I have to straddle this one, I think. And my disc is a little bit wet. Some snow, melted snow on it. Oh, good line. I'm gonna leave my bag right there. And the next tee box is just up the hill from hole 6. But it's kind of an interesting shot. So it's kind of a touchy downhill towards the basket. It's fairly short, but you need to have a good feel for it. And I'm just gonna set my camera up behind the basket and shoot it from there. Hoping the camera is picking up the sound. Just float it in the basket. And don't hit the camera. Okay, you probably didn't see that at all. It went way long and way up. So, all right, hope we can find this. Went long. Hope it didn't go in the drink. Oh, there it is. Interesting thing. Hope I'm in frame. This Rico, the plastic on this K1 Rico is generally pretty. I mean, it's base plastic, but it feels really good. In the gloves, it feels even better. Go low. Yes. Woo! Oh man, I'm so glad I got that on camera. Birdie. One thing about these gloves that I wanted to note is that they're not doing a particularly great job of keeping my hands warm. So if you're buying them to keep your hands warm, that might not be the best purpose of these, because frankly, my fingers are still a little numb. My index finger and my thumb are numb from the cold. I'm shooting at hole 8 here. Is the tee box in frame? Yeah. As long as I don't destroy the camera. We're gonna do this. I know I'm tempting fate here. Oh God, this could turn so bad. Just get me above the camera. Oh my God, that was so close. I'm so sorry, camera. That was so scary. This is the infamous hole number 9. This is the bane of many a disc golfer. It gives me a chance to really put a hurt on one, because it's not a really far hole, but it's uphill, and it's that big tree on the right is a Mando, so you kind of got to hit your line. It requires a bit of touch to get there. Let's give it a rip. Into the bank on the left side, that's okay, because I'm just going to have to forehand an approach shot. That'll give me a good chance to try these. All right, put it up high, pan out at the basket. All right, I know that might have worked out, but that felt wrong. It felt not great. So I'll show you with the Destroyer. On a forehand, with the gloves on, the way I do my grip is kind of a stacked grip like this. But what that means is, and I don't think you can see it there, there's a seam right here that is kind of right in there. It feels odd, and then it bunches at the top where the tip collects a little bit. kind of feels weird for that kind of light touch you want for an overstable approach shot. The zone, obviously, I know my zone. I know what it does. How it behaves. Par on this hole feels like a birdie. This is one of the very few holes on this course where it's a forehand off the tee. For me, it's a zone. And again, as I said before, the forehand felt a little wonky. See if we can't fix that here. Move those around a little bit. Well, that'll work out fine. Might be deep. Just dribbled over the bank there. That felt much better. If I fiddled with it a bit before I threw, it felt much better in my fingers. So shouldn't really have to do that though. It should just feel natural, but I'm willing to take that now that my hands are finally starting to warm up. Straddle putt though. Ooh, geez. There we go. Yeah, these gloves actually feel really good. I'm starting to get I'm getting the hang of them, I think. All right, so next we have the ultimate test. I'm going to walk down to the little river. Hopefully you can hear it babbling. And I'm going to dip my disc in the water, and I'm going to dip this glove in the water, and then we'll see how it throws after that. All right, disc in you go. And glove in you go. Oh my God. Whoa. So you can see the disc is obviously dripping wet, as is my glove. Okay, double mando. Let's see if we can't hit the mando. The grip still feels really good. I mean, obviously I can feel that it's wet, but the grip still feels pretty good. Yep, that works. That works like a hot damn. Came out beautifully. Still came out really good. A lot better than if I had just had a bare hand. So it would appear that when I hit the record button on the last video of this review, the wrap up, it didn't actually record. I'm going to blame that on the gloves, not actually activating the button. But it's kind of fortunate because it does give me an opportunity to talk about a little bit more, because I ended up playing two rounds, a tournament, a C-Tier tournament up at Smith Lake Farms in Black Creek with the gloves on, which is a good thing because it was absolutely miserable. I mean, it's sprinkling a bit here. There's a little bit of rain, but it was absolutely the worst conditions I've ever played in. And I ended up tied for second in MA2 and with two of the best rated rounds I've ever shot in my life. So in summation, these absolutely, I think they helped my game for sure. People were struggling out there. It was not nice. And they were going through 4, 5, 6 towels in over the course of 2 rounds, and everybody's standing there drying their towels at the heaters for lunch. And I didn't have to deal with any of that. I just was worried about my cold toes. So they've stood up extremely well. I'm going to overlay a close-up of the fingertips of my right hand. Obviously, I was only throwing with my right hand, and you can see that there's almost no damage at all to these. Now, what that tells me is that I should be able to get, I would say I would get a season out of these. I paid through Amazon, I paid $38 Canadian delivered to my door for these gloves. And I think that it's absolutely worth it. Even if we're only playing in the wintertime on the West Coast here, obviously, it gets very wet. And I think that it's important that we have these tools in our bag, in our arsenal for sure. And a couple of times that I took the glove off to throw a couple of forehands or putts, things were slipping and sliding, and as I said, gloves back on. I putted with them, didn't have any issues with that. The feeling wasn't as nice as I'd like, but it's better than having to deal with the absolutely terrible wet gloves. So thanks again for joining me here on Graybeard Disc Golf. I hope you have a great time. Stay dry, stay warm, and get out and play some disc and practice some putting. Even though it's raining, I might throw a few at the old disc catcher here. Have a great one. We'll see you next time on Graybeard Disc Golf.